Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing another Blanche Macdonald update, and I wanted to start off by saying that this is not everyone's experience at school. This is my experience. Everyone has a different experience when they go anywhere, to anything and do anything, because everyone is individual, and this is just my experience, and I wanted to share my journey with you guys. It's really important for me to share this with you guys because I've been doing my YouTube channel. You guys have seen me evolve, and I wanted to share with you guys, my experience at school, because I know a lot of you really depend on these videos to really make the decision to go to Blanche Macdonald because you guys are curious. So I'm trying to bring you the information that it isn't on the internet. So special effects. This is going to be my special effects module. Special effects, I believe, was 10 weeks long or 12 weeks long. We were in it for a really long time, and I fell in love. This is what I came to school to do, and I think this course is it really is the defining factor between if you want to do the freelance course or the global course, because a lot of people say, I'm just going to take the global course because then I'll do it all, but they really fucking hate their lives when they're sitting through special effects. And I think if you just want to do bridal or something like that, you really have to figure out if you really want to torture yourself and go through special effects. That's my just little blurb and advice to you guys. Don't force yourself to do something if you know you're never going to use it, because you're just going to be miserable and your classmates have to sit through you being miserable, and it's not fun for anybody. So that's my little blurb. Now I'm going to talk about what I learned. There's so much more to special effects than just, putting paint on the body or anything like that. There is so much you have to know about anatomy, about just cleanliness in general. There's just so much more that I can't even explain or begin to explain because it's not as simple as it looks. And to a lot of people, I don't think it looks simple, but there's so much I didn't even know. This was the first time that I really honestly started truly doing cuts and burns and scrapes and old age, all that sort of stuff. I had never really played with liquid latex before. I had no idea what Bondo was. I had no idea what PROSTHETICS was. And this is why I came to school. This is why I paid the money I did, so I can learn. You can be a self-taught makeup artist. I'm a self-taught makeup artist, but when it comes to special effects, I went to school for that because it would have taken me probably 10 plus years to learn what I learned in that short period of time at school. And I don't have time to waste like that. I only have one life, and I'm going to do it right. And that's why I chose to go to school, to learn from the best people I can learn from, because I don't want to be up in my room wasting my money, spending my money on all these products, and it just gets ruined. I'd rather be shown how to do it the right way and the safe way rather than waste my money and waste my time. Makeup is a lot of trial and error, and I'm so grateful that I had amazing people to show me how to do things, and they've all come from places of learning it themselves, and I'm so grateful that I was shown a certain way to do it, and I get to adapt that into my own way. And that's another thing I want to touch on. When you're in school for makeup, there isn't only one thing you learned. You can be shown a technique, or someone can show you, this is how I do cuts because this makes sense to me, and this is how the anatomy of the skin when it's cut, all that. That's great, but then when you actually do it, it turns into something completely different, and you always put your own spin on it. So I can be shown how to do a bruise, but then when I do a bruise on my own hand, I'll be like, well, this is what happened to this, and the impact was here, and blah, blah, blah. So you you understand what they're teaching you, but then you take it and do it your own sort of way. So like I was saying, first time I was starting to play with Bondo, I love Bondo. Bondo is Prosade and Capsule. It's just thickened Prosade. I love doing Bondo cuts. It's probably one of my favorite things. I would just sit in class for 4 days and just literally do Bondo cuts on my hand. This was also the first time that I really started playing around with different textures, cotton, Kleenex, cereal, to really mimic what gore really looks like on your skin when something traumatic happens to it. Like when I was doing burns and stuff, I try to make it look as realistic as possible. And that being said, I have worked in a medical center, so I do know what this stuff looks like. So it's really easy for me to be like, yes, that's real. No, that's not real. This color's correct. That color's not correct. Makeup special effects is trying to make it look realistic. Someone can do, a zombie makeup on YouTube, but if it doesn't look real, if it looks animated, it's really not passable for TV or film or anything like that. So it's really important to learn how to make things look realistic, especially with aging. First time I tried to do a liquid latex aging as well, and I thought that was so fun. There's so much to it. You honestly need like 8 hands to do special effects, but it's so much fun. In school, I also played around with zombie bites, making them out of Bondo, you know, trying to just like mimic teeth on the skin. It's all it is just practice, practice, practice. You will do the same thing 12 times before you get it right once. And even like when it comes to different shades of blood, you know, like a fresh wound or like an old wound, there's just so much thought behind it besides putting just one color down. You know, there's so many layers to it, and I've just learned so much. One of my favorite days like ever in special effects was our Exorcist day. I thought that was so fun. We just like got to hang out and do Exorcist makeup on each other. The Exorcist makeup is one of like the most like defining makeups ever. It was by Dick Smith, and if you can do an Exorcist makeup, you can really do anything. For our midterm for our special effects, we had, what was it? We had to do a latex old aging, and I think like 2 major and 2 minor cuts and scrapes and something like that. So we had to do the face and the hands. I used my friend Anwar. I kind of like, it's easier to age someone who is white because our skin, we age, you know, black don't crack, you know what I'm saying? So I think I did an okay job, but I wasn't, you know, 100%. It looked a little ashy, you know. I wasn't that pleased with it, but you know, you live and you learn. That's what makeup is. You live and you learn. After our midterm, we started going into crepe wool and all that sort of stuff. We touched on it in TV and film, but this was the first time that we really did like a full-on beard, and like a full-on beard lay using spirit gum. So sticky. A lot of fun, but just very, very sticky. And like this sort of stuff, like how to lay the hair on correctly, how to trim the hair when you're holding it to lay it correctly, to make it look realistic, to make it look like it's actually growing from your skin. There's just so much to makeup. Like I can't tell you guys enough that the stuff that I learned when I was at Blanche, like I don't think I would ever have learned. Like I honestly, like you can't find this stuff on the internet. You can find certain things on the internet, but like all these like details and like all tips and tricks, you can't find it. Yeah, in special effects, we would just be like given like a piece of paper and be like, okay, this is a victim. They fell from hiking or something like that. They were in the bushes. I don't know. You have to make it look like that character. That's what you do with makeup. You have to make it look like a character. You have to make it look real. You have to place scrapes and cuts where it would make sense. You have to put dirt where it would make sense. It's a lot of really thinking and like understanding a character. We also did ball caps, and ball caps were one of my favorite things to do ever. I'm such a perfectionist, so when I was trying to do a ball cap, I like tried to make it like so perfect. I just like I needed to make it so perfect. It was so funny. My teacher was Corey Roberts. I love her. She's just like a peach on like a summer day. She's just so bubbly and fun. If you have Corey ever, just like, I love her to death. I think I did maybe 3 practice ball caps. Oh no, maybe just 2 practice ball caps, because the first one we did a color correction to match their skin, and then the second one we actually brought a model in and we did like a zombie makeup on that, and we like fabricated the little pieces on a life cast, and then we applied them on the model that we brought in. That was really funny. I tried to make my zombie like not really a zombie, because I didn't want to like do like all blood and gore kind of stuff, but I think it was pretty, and I think the ball cap was just like top notch. For my second application, I was really proud of myself. The ball caps were one of those like things you have to know. Like you just have to know, and you have to get it right. You have to understand, you know, all that stuff. You're using acetone too, so there's just a lot of like precautions and stuff that you just have to be aware of. For my final exam, oh my gosh, this makeup was probably I had a vision in my mind. I couldn't really draw it out on paper because I sometimes I can't put my thoughts on paper, and this like it honestly just like came to life on my exam day. I don't think anyone knew what I was really doing until I actually started applying, because I didn't really have any reference photos or anything. I just had this vision in my mind, and I made this like alien fashion like goddess thing, and I just thought it was the prettiest thing in the entire world, and everyone was like looking at it, they're like, I believe this. Like when you looked at this, I believed it. I did put a brow bone on. I put 2 cheekbone applications, put ear pieces on. I put shoulder pieces on. I also did finger extensions, which were super fun. I made them from latex and just a whole bunch of cotton. I thought that my final project, it was probably the one makeup that I was the most proud of. I also took Mingron mixing liquid and the metallic powder, the silver, and dripped it down my model's like arms, and I thought it was just like so pretty. Yeah, it was just like the prettiest makeup that I feel like I could create, and I just loved it. Like I would love to recreate it with the things that I know and the mistakes that I've made, and like have like, or just a gorgeous like flawless photo of it. I do have gorgeous flawless photos of it, but there are certain things on it that I'm like, oh, I could have done that a lot better. I had a blast. I learned so much. I loved my final project. I love the photos that I got from it, and that's pretty much it for special effects. I did also receive a special effects kit. I will link that in the description box below if you want to see all the goodies that we got. Yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.